Good morning, good morning. I'm huffing and puffing because we just got back from our walk. The deer are tearing everything up. They've hit the hydrangeas again. We have these Mexican, I thought Ken said they would call them Mexican dahlias, but there's something else, but they're really tall. They're like between 5 and 6 feet tall, and they had this beautiful orange, different color blossoms on top, like a lily sort of. And they're like three feet tall now. Done. He was in our yard already this morning. We let Gunner out, but Gunner won't chase them. He just barks at them and scares them off. And he was coming from like 3 doors down as we came around our corner. He was like 3 doors down, crossing, he or she, I don't know what it is, crossing the street. It's a big one. And last night it was laying in our driveway, or close to the driveway in the dirt. And the dog barked at him, her, and finally walked up the driveway. I mean, very, very, very people oriented. Probably would eat its favorite meal out of your hand. It's really, and of course they have nowhere to go. We are in between 7,000 extra houses built up here that don't need to be here, and that's where they used to live. So we're kind of at an end area, and they've been pushed this way, and there's no subdivisions coming here because these are all established houses. There's no empty land. But in order to survive, he's in somebody's yard every day eating. It's crazy. Okay, the word for today is ellipse, which is like an oval, which is a perfect lead-in to my latest rabbit hole, because I'm sure they're all ellipse shaped. I don't know where I saw this. I saw this last week sometime on somebody's video, somehow, or maybe in my Instagram feed, it came up. Amy Tan is a famous American writer. She wrote the Joy Luck Club. There's many books that she's written. She's from the San Francisco, the Bay Area. She grew up in Oakland. She now lives in Sausalito, which is right across the Golden Gate Bridge. It might be the first town. I think so, but she's a huge bird aficionado and loves watching the birds and feeding the birds and drawing the birds. And even though she's a fiction writer and nonfiction at times, she kept kind of like a Hobonichi. And this is her it's not really a Hobonichi, but she kept a diary of her bird antics for several years. And she really got into it over COVID because she had nowhere to go. And she could get to her birds in her backyard. Of course, she lives on the side of a hill, a gorgeous hill. And there's not a financial issue there, how much bird seed she can buy or whatever. But anyhow, this is astounding. It came yesterday afternoon, and all I've done is look at this. Amy Tan, The Backyard Bird Chronicles. There's a cover that comes with it, but I took it off. It's kind of like it's a heavy cardboard, but it's smooth. I don't know what they did this with. But anyhow, this entire thing is her diary and all of her bird drawings. And she said sometimes when she first started, the birds were and she's drawing them as they're landing in her yard. So she's got to be fast, but she has improved over the time. Like this was done in March 2020 of a California scrub jay, an American crow. Of course, these are all West Coast birds. I mean, look at this California towhee. I mean, look. I mean, but she's been to South America. She went to a South American bird sanctuary type place and stayed there where you can stay and reflect and watch and everything like that. But they had sloths there too. She drew sloths. I mean, everything is in here. And she made friends with these birds, and she made little stories up because she is definitely a writer at heart. She's a huge aficionado of Yosemite and has gone there. Just quail, California quail. I mean, this is so engaging is the right word in my head for this. People that she's met, people that she's done birding excursions with. This is since 2016, but it starts in 2017. And it goes all the way up to, I think, 2022. Yeah, December of 2022. Oh, the day after my birthday. Did she do anything on my birthday? Nope. But, if you want to, I think it was like $26. And then she has the different birds she has seen that she identified in her yard. Pigeons, doves, finches, corvids, which I've never heard of. Nuthatches, raptors, sparrows, thrushes, warblers, woodpeckers, songbirds. I mean, and then she gives you other recommended reading lists and all of this. Oh, there's apps, Merlin and eBird. I'm going to get those, I think. John Muir Laws. She's a huge proponent of him. And he's done lots of this kind of stuff too. But this is gorgeous. And it's thick. 288 pages. I mean, and like every other page at least is a great drawing and or story. She tells you what kind of tools she uses. I mean, it's amazing. It's worth a rabbit hole or an ellipse. But she had a pretty, I did not realize, of course I went down a heavy rabbit hole of her. She had a pretty tumultuous childhood, which I did not realize. But I think I have read that before in some of her stuff when she's promoting a movie or a book. Okay, 12. Ellipse. This is an oval. You know I like a circle. I don't know how to spell ellipse. Perhaps I should learn how to spell before I get on here. Oh. But it's so humid here right now. I mean, we had rain most of the day yesterday. Okay, obvious would be to do tons of ovals, but I think I'm going to do a varied background and then maybe put an ellipse sideways because it needs to be on this side this time. Because my thoughts, my prompts to myself, along with the prompts from Index Card a Day, is that's what this is. Index Card a Day, not my prompt list. Daisy Yellow Gypsy 999 on Instagram, her prompt list. But I've done this before, several years ago. And she gives you prompts. She gives you suggestions of things to add to your prompts or take away from your prompts, or a weekly prompt, whatever fits your schedule. But my self-imposed prompt, along with her word every day, is to do something on the edges. Kind of just wanted to be on the fringe, the edge. So, I am mostly using collage because I have an abundance of paper. I have a few pieces of paper that I need to use because I keep making more. But I am also adding either the word or something that correlates with the word or the shape or whatever on the edges. So, trying to think how I want to start this one. Ooh. I have a few pieces of paper from the future. Ooh. But I don't want to use those just yet. I might scan them first. Now, this is my medium-sized pieces of scraps. Let's just see what happens here. This is kind of pretty. That could be like the ellipse. Trying not to go with thick paper. This is, oh, the green pumpkins. That was from October of last year. I don't know what those are. Something off of Pinterest. Oh, what I was going to say too about the Amy Tan. If you love the thought process behind like a field guide, you'll love this book. Not trying to influence you at all. Just telling you a treasure that I discovered. because somebody else was influencing me. This is Eastern Europe, Rick Steves, when we went on the Danube. Seeing if they had anything that had ellipse written on it that struck my fancy. Oh, here's our ellipse. That oval-shaped bowl. That's why you cut out bowls in magazines. Because you never know when an ellipse is going to pop up on a prompt list. Ugh. This came from, I think it was a Ralph Lauren designing catalog. All his furniture and textiles and stuff. It was a stunning book. And there's still a few things left. I think it was Ralph Lauren. Maybe it wasn't. It was some high-end, something that I can't afford, but I can sure use it in my journals. But it just had such natural-looking things. Like this, like some kind of brass bowl, hammered brass bowl. I mean, this is some, it looks like a wagon wheel. I mean, but just gorgeous. Tables made out of, you know, reclaimed wood. Just gorgeous stuff. Super expensive. Here, we could use this as an ellipse, too, except that the bottom part's missing. One time, Shannon Green had in... Oh, here's some paper I painted with the pine needles. One time, Shannon Green... I don't know why I always call her Sharon. Shannon Green had a list of magazines you could order, catalogs you could order for these kind of purposes. And I sent out for a bunch of them. The only one I got was this, because everything else is online. And I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, so obviously this might be natural looking. Okay, that we need to save. Of course, I only have a 3x5, an index card to work with here. I'm going to put that one back and this one back. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I mean, that in itself right there. This was a magazine that I painted with a thick, heavy acrylic. I just love the brush marks. Can you see? Can you see? Look at the brush marks. Of course, I had like 5 different colors on my brush at the same time, which is sometimes helpful. Sometimes helpful. I'm wondering if I can put this in the background, put a bunch of ellipse-shaped things from these other pieces of paper in the background, and then put that bowl on top. Because I'm never going to use my paper unless I layer stuff up. But there's a little hole right there, but luckily it kind of all blends together. I'm okay with that. Yeah, it rained most of the day yesterday. Hard. But they took the dam, they let the water out of the dam a little bit because the neighbor's dock across the way would be close to being under right now. And it's like 8 inches, 9 inches still. Although if it rained a lot more in the upstate, it'll take a while to get down here a day or two. Kind of thinking I might do that. Cut out a bunch of ovals, ellipses. All different sizes. Cover up that. Now I don't want to put any on the edge except for the one I'm going to put right here. else is going on? I'm still desperately working on this stupid quilt. It's not stupid. I'm the stupid one. I love the quilt, but quilting it myself, I tried to do something experimental in the beginning, which did not work. So then I had to rip out a bunch of stuff. And I'm going back in now and quilting it. The quilting theory that you're supposed to use. But I ran out of the middle, so then I had to order more stuff, and it's going to be here late tonight. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I was going to try to mail it tomorrow to my sister so that I wouldn't have to carry it in my luggage because I'm only bringing like a large backpack. That may not happen. So then I might have to bring a little suitcase, which I really don't want to, because my plan is to bring like 4 outfits and do laundry at my sister's, which is where I'm going first. And nobody will know that I've already worn all this stuff at my friend's house for the celebration of life, which is why I'm really going. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gone 2 years in a row. But last year, we didn't know that was going to be my friend's mom, who I've known almost all my life. Her last couple months. Okay. I think I'm going to... This is really pretty. I don't feel like I've lost some of the brush strokes, of course, but I haven't lost the gist of the paper underneath, and everything else is kind of melding in. And then when I put this pot, which is a cream color, which reminds me, I'm going to take that off then. And maybe put this color in, because I don't want anything else cream. There was a lot of beach type furniture too, high-end beach furniture. And I use that a lot in journals at the beach. Right now I kind of like have these rustic cabin views left of furniture. Where, you know, a table is like $20,000. Good for you. Not my idea. Even if I had, well, I don't think I would spend that much money on it. I might. This furniture is gorgeous. I don't want everything at the same level. So it is mostly a lot of magazine. Mostly magazine, some book pages. This is a book page painted. You can barely see the writing underneath. It's mostly magazine. I don't want that to be lined up with that. So when I get done here, I'm supposed to be quilting. Do I want to keep reading the Amy Tan book? Yes, I do. She has, I mean, great conversations. I watched an interview with her about this book, and she said that she pictures herself as one of the birds writing the stories, the daily logs, her life book in bird language. Oh my God, that's pretty. But she pictures herself as a bird watching herself in her window. And she took Halloween clings that you can put on your glass doors and stuff for Halloween, but they're all spider webs, and she's put them all, because her house looks like a Frank Lloyd designed house. It's gorgeous from what you can see. And she put these things all over her window so that the birds don't fly into the windows thinking it's like a branch on a tree. Uh-oh. Speaking of branches on a tree. Oh, there it is. Okay. But she is a very interesting lady. And strange fact, I think Amy Tangerine's real name is Amy Tan. And she's had to distinguish herself from the Amy Tan, the author, especially since they're both Asian. Her mom and I think her dad are both Chinese. Well, they are both gone, but I think they were both Chinese. Okay. This planter has like shells embedded on the side. So it's got this little texture detail. I should trim these with smaller scissors. I think, I could be wrong, but I never am. I mean, just, that is gorgeous. The shadow in the bowl. Oof. Oof. Don't know if it follows any rules of art, but I know I like it. Ellipse. The dog is barking with the husband in the bathroom. Sorry if you can hear that. I mean, this is really pretty in my world. Woo! Woo! Come back tomorrow. I think the rest of them are really good this week. They're all good. It's a great prompt list. Great. Okay, all this has to go back into my medium-sized bowl now because it never got shrank. I'd have to go into the little box, which is overflowing also. These can go in the little one now. Oh, look at there. The things you find on your desk. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Bye.